Hello, everyone. Welcome to my weekly message. This week's parsha, we begin with the 7 of the 10 plagues that took place in Egypt, which began the process of the Exodus. I would like to discuss the first 3 plagues and the lessons we can learn from them. The plagues were not just a punishment for the Egyptians, but also for the Jewish people, preparing them to be redeemed, to be finally free, a free nation. And perhaps we could also learn lessons for us in today's day and age, how we could really experience true liberation, true freedom on a spiritual level. The first plague was dam, the blood, the waters of the Nile turning into blood. And the first step in being free is to have excitement, enthusiasm, and joy in life. Water represents coldness, aloofness, represents apathy and indifference, something that doesn't have any excitement. Blood, on the other hand, represents warmth, life, excitement, something that is full of full of joy, full of life. And this is the first step to freedom. We have to awaken in ourselves a sense of joy, a sense of meaning and passion and excitement in life. There's a famous story of an individual who unfortunately was drowning in a lake, and a holy rabbi was walking by, and he tells him he couldn't swim. The rabbi didn't know how to swim. He tells the person, give regards to the Leviathan, the big fish that's beneath the sea. And all of a sudden the guy started laughing as he was drowning, but he sort of gained some strength and was able to fight the waters and able to swim to the shore. And he said, why did you tell me a joke when you saw me drowning? Why don't you call for help? He said, I realized I couldn't get you enough help. I couldn't swim. I couldn't save you. We would have both drowned. He said, but if I told you a joke, that would have brought some joy in your life, and that would have given you hope. And that's the first step to being a truly free person, is to have that joy, to have that meaning, excitement, and enthusiasm in life. That's represented by the first plague, the cold waters turning into blood. The second plague was the frogs attacking Egypt. Billions of frogs came from the Nile, and the interesting verse says that the frogs even jumped into the ovens of the Egyptians. This represents the idea of the frog is the amphibian from the ponds, from the waters, represents coldness. Jumping into the fire means of the Egyptians' ovens represents the idea that one should not have too much passion. Passion is good, excitement is good, but for spiritual matters, if we have too much passion in worldly matters, that could be detrimental to our freedom. We could be caught up with all the latest technological gadgets that there are, and physical, material things in life. There's a famous story of 2 brothers. One was wealthy, the other one was poor. And the poor brother had to marry off his daughter, so he went to visit his brother in the big city. And the brother, who lived in a mansion, wanted first to give him a tour of the beautiful house that he lived in. And he brings him into the study, and into his library, into his dining room, living room, all the different rooms that he had in the bedrooms. And so the poor brother says, it's all very nice, but sometimes when the pig is in the mud, covered with mud, and it's literally up until snout, and then the pig says, cover my snout, cover my face also with mud. That's already too much. He said, it's very, very beautiful, but how much material items you could have in life, how much material possessions you could own. We have to realize what's important in life, realizing that our true possession should be that of spiritual um, virtues and goals and family family relationships and so on. That's our true wealth. Someone told me, I mentioned to him how many children I have. He said, "Wow, you're really rich. Thank God." Our families, our relationships, that is our true wealth. And the good deeds, of course, and the knowledge that we study and we learn, these are the things that we should possess. So that's the second lesson. The frogs jumping into the furnaces represent cooling down the material desires that we have in life, and that's the second step. And the third I want to mention is the lice, the small insect. It said that the first two plagues the Egyptian sorcerers, the magicians, could replicate. They also turned the water into blood. They also brought out frogs, but the third plague they could not. Why? Because the rabbis explained it, because the louse is smaller than a lentil. Anything that's smaller than the size of a lentil, sorcery does not have any power over something smaller than the size of a lentil. And here we see that holiness, kedusha, holiness, that the plagues came from of course, from God, represented by Moses and Aaron. That holiness does affect the small things, could have an effect on small things, which is a tremendous lesson that we should never underestimate the small things in life and appreciate the small things in life. Take the time to enjoy our family, whether it's on Shabbat or the holidays. Take the time to give a hug to our loved ones, a kiss. Take the time to express appreciation. Take the time to do a good deed, even if it seems so insignificant, whatever it may be, to help someone in need. We never know that amount. Or even when it comes to Torah study, take the time to spend even a minute and study a Torah thought. Don't think it's insignificant. Small things do count in holiness, and that's the third plague, the third lesson we could learn. I want to wish everyone a wonderful Shabbos. Candle lighting for New York metropolitan areas at 4:37. We'll be davening, God willing, here at the synagogue at 6 p.m. Kabbalat Shabbat. Tomorrow morning we have our Torah class, our Hasidic interpretations on the Torah portion at 9:30. 10 o'clock we have our Siddur services, Mincha at approximately 12:30, followed by a socially distant Kiddush. And then we have also Ma'ariv tomorrow evening. Shabbos ends at 5:37. Ma'ariv will be at 5:55. We have also our children's program, learning program, at 6:45 with pizza and raffle prizes. And Sunday morning service 8 a.m. again with a socially distant breakfast. And Tuesday night men's Talmud class. We will not be having our Torah class Thursday night. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom, a Chodesh Tov. It's the new month, the birth of the new month. Rosh Chodesh was yesterday. Also, I want to mention the yahrzeit of Renee's mother, Sheila Snitkov, Shena Leah Bas Ephraim, and may she have a Litre Gan Eden. Also, I want to mention Sheila Gersman's mother's yahrzeit this week. The 6th of Shvat, also my grandmother's yahrzeit, the 5th of Shvat. And next week, Shabbos, is the yahrzeit of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson, also a very significant day as well. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom and all the best.